morning, bonjour. You know I'm gonna be here, right? Good morning, Greta. You got your plate? Girl, we're busybodies, aren't we? Get some tea going. Life is busy. But you know, I like it like that because I stay out of trouble. Good morning, ELM3248, Mary Miller. Hello. I think I just read something from Mary. I can't remember. Are you coming in, Mary? Are you coming to Panama? Or are you here? Good morning, Monica. Puerto Rico. Uh-oh. You know, I've been there once. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. I mean, the hurricanes kind of scare me, you know. But the beaches, oh my God. And of course, the food. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing place. And in Puerto Rico, I remember going to Old San Juan, which is a place that attracts a lot of visitors. But when I was in Old San Juan, people, you know, even the locals, they go there on the weekends just to enjoy themselves. So there are a lot of restaurants, lots of music. And I think outside of Barcelona, I saw the best, what do they call that? Flamenco music there. That's something I've always remembered. So you ladies, how are you? I know I just spoke to Greta. Everybody else? Oh, you've been here since Wednesday. I thought I had read something from you. You know what happens? I have 3 emails. I get messages on all those. Then I got the WhatsApp. Then I have the Facebook group. I have 2 Facebook pages. So sometimes, you know, I'm scrolling and I see a message. If I don't respond right away and then I go back, I can't remember where I found. Where did I read that message? Oh my goodness. So I have to, you know, check each one of them to remember where. All right, Michelle. Good morning, Michelle. Oh, Michelle is awake today. All right, guys. You know, you guys voted for me to do the salad. And I woke up this morning after I did the workout, and then I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to cook my peas overnight. No, I soak them overnight, and I usually cook them here in the morning. So, but I already put them in with the mirepoix, not mirepoix. I put fresh garlic. I had some celery, and then some bay leaves. So, almost done. Oof. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And you know, I started doing the, I'm gonna be plucking some of my spinach for the frittata so I can wash it easier. You know, once I discovered that I can cook, I can boil my own chickpeas. I don't buy the stuff in the can anymore. Soak it overnight. I've said that before. Soak it overnight and in the morning cook it on medium and put all your veggies. You know, you could put carrots, celery, whatever you have. Plenty of garlic. You'll never go back to the canned stuff. All right? All right, you know, we don't know what that is. I don't know, it's talking to me. I never know what it means. So I am plucking some of the spinach because this is how it comes here in Panama. They are hardy. You're not gonna find them in the bag like we do at home, which I prefer that because that makes me feel better. You know how many times in the States they would tell you that something was contaminated and some people are dying. We don't have that here. So I'm gonna pluck some of those because I'm only using this little shallow dish for the frittata, at home I had like a nice glass dish. Now that I miss. I know I couldn't bring it. I missed that. So we're gonna make do. So we're gonna do some peppers, onions, and then the spinach at the end. I'm gonna chop the spinach because I don't want spinach leaves in the frittata. And I got the 3 eggs out. It's always good to use eggs at room temperature. Here in Panama, they don't refrigerate eggs or milk. All right? So while we give the peas a few more minutes. So how's everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday? What are your plans? What are you going to do? Huh? All right, let me rinse this up. Yep. All right, Michelle. Over here, Michelle. Oh, the other thing I want to do first, I'm going to be making the herb oil, okay? Because that's what I'm going to use to season the peas for our salad. So we want to start with olive oil. And when I make it almost full, and then I use it on salad. Since I'm boycotting grains, but if I had a pita, you dip it in, or if you eat bread, like when you go to Carrabba's, I remember the name now, Carrabba's, and then they had that bread up front, that herb oil, that's what this is. So if you learn to make that, it becomes your best friend. Did I have olive oil? I think this is sunflower oil. Yeah, that's sunflower oil. Well, they keep telling you not to eat the seed oil, and oh my gosh. Every time you turn, they're telling you something else you're not supposed to eat. I'm like, relax, people. All right, fresh ground pepper. I love pepper, so I'm always putting enough. Yeah. All right. Salt. You could do sea salt if you want. All right. Then I put some fresh garlic, okay? And then we're going to put all the dry herbs in there. So in terms of fresh, I put fresh garlic and I have fresh rosemary. The one thing I forgot to bring back with me is my garlic presser. I don't know how I forgot that, but I bought a garlic presser here. No, I had to throw it away. It didn't have any body to it, so whenever I picked it up, I had to press hard. I'm like, this is not helping me. So I went back to chopping my garlic, which I'm happy to do. So that's not that big a deal. Today in Panama, not just today, this month, we're celebrating La Etnia Negra, the whole month of May. This is a month that Panamanians celebrate Black culture, okay? Just like we have Black History Month, it's not just history, they celebrate the culture. So there are going to be all sorts of programs and, oh, that's too much. We're not going to put all that garlic in there. Programs, and then what's interesting is they had, yesterday in Cologne, they had the Diablo, where you see the people with the devil looking things over their faces. But the biggest thing is that even in the stores, you're gonna see a lot of African attire being sold. So, Mary, since you're visiting, you can go to Albrook Mall, or if you go to Cinco de Mayo, Santa Ana, in that area, you're gonna find a lot of, they do. It's not the pollera. The pollera that has to do with etnia negra. It's like the patchy one, which is different from the one from Spain. So they're gonna have that, and then they have the Congo dance. Oh, so fun! And then you can wear your African attire, with the head and the dress. So I have something that I had brought from Ghana, so I'm gonna be sure I wear that. It's not long; it's a short, but the fabric is definitely from Ghana, and so there are going to be a lot of programs that talk about the history, the contribution of African Americans and Caribbean people here in Panama. And I think one of the biggest things, I couldn't go to the Cologne one yesterday, but they have one here in Panama City in an area called Rio Abajo, which is where if you're looking for Jamaican, Trinidadian, or whatever, that's where you're gonna find a lot of that stuff. So they have a parade in that area. I wanna say it's the third Saturday or Sunday, the 16th or 17th. So you can look for it. I think I'll be posting it on one of the Facebook pages I have. It's called the Community Calendar. You can be posted on there. I went there. Now I love that parade. All the schools and people come from all over Panama. They even have groups. They had groups from New York last year, and everybody is wearing their beautiful African attire outfit. Let me tell you, it is a feast for the eye. It is absolutely stunning. So if you get a chance to go, and I'm gonna go, and then I'll get some footage for you guys. But it is so good. La etnia negra, black ethnicity. So I'm excited. But there's always something on here in Panama, okay? We celebrate the Chinese New Year, and that's days. Then in November is Independence Day. We have 2 Independence Day. Then you have Carnival, you have Easter. Listen, there is no time to be bored here in Panama. You always have something to do, places to go. All right, I have fresh rosemary. Love that. Romero. I buy this thing for like $1.50, but this is $1.50. I am never upset about spending because I just love this herb. Now I use it mostly in meats. Like if meat is gamey, like if you're getting pork and goat. When I cook, if I'm cooking oxtail, I'm always putting romero in those. Because, you see the chefs doing like a steak, and then they'll throw a whole stack in the butter, and then you're basting. It's so fragrant, and it's pungent, so you don't need a whole lot. All right. Romero, where are you, Romero? Remember Romeo and Juliet? That was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. Oh, I cried when Juliet drank that poison, and then he comes. All right, so we have salt, pepper, rosemary, oregano. So now we're putting all our dry herbs in, okay? Oregano, thyme. Now these are dry, okay? No, not bay leaves. This is cilantro, culantro. Yeah, I don't want to put fresh cilantro in here. culantro, red pepper flakes, ¿qué más? Fine herbs. I have one that's called fine herb. Oh yeah. Finas herbias. Fine herbs. So that's a mixture of everything. Okay? And that should do it. So we're gonna shake everything up. And that is our herb oil. Now I have some, what do you call those? Allspice. No, I don't think it's the right combination. Even though you put allspice in your oxtail and stuff, but not in this herb oil. Okay, so you shake, 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 shake. Listen, you got to live life and be happy, right? Otherwise, you're gonna cry. What dish am I cooking? We're making a chickpea salad with cucumber, and then we're making a really small, very simple frittata. All right, so this is your herb oil. You see all those herbs in there? So now I'm gonna taste to make sure the salt is on point. Needs a little bit more salt. I think the peas should be done. So I always have this in my fridge. Okay? So definitely that is a alternative to butter. And this one is seasoned, okay? So if you put it like on vegetables or in a salad, you don't have to put anything else. All right, it's ready. And you can put it in whatever you want. Okay? You see it? Full of herbs. All right. So that's good. Let me check the peas. Chickpeas cooking. Perfect. So it cooked in about 30 minutes. Michelle. All right. What's it doing? What were you doing, girl? I'm over here. All right, Michelle, stop it. All right. So the frittata is going to take like 15-20 minutes. It's not going to take long, okay? So what I want to do now is set up the frittata and then leave it until I'm ready to put it in the oven. So what we want to do, I have my bowl. I turn the heat off the peas. So when I'm ready, I'm gonna strain and put it in here. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start cutting the things that go into my salad. We have cucumber, bell peppers, and some olives, the peas, we season, and then we finish it off with these little beauties, okay? These are some cheeses in some olive oil and some olives, okay? I love these. Now, in Panama, they're a bit expensive. This was like almost $4 for this little thing, all right? In Panama, they have queso blanco. So if you buy queso blanco, you can cut it up and then you can just throw it in there. Ideally, this salad you do overnight. You marinate in that herb oil overnight, and then in the morning, you add the cheese. And if you want to, add some fresh cilantro before you serve it, you can do that. But we're not going to do that because we don't have the time. But I'm definitely going to put my cucumber in here. cucumber is abundant here in Panama, I have to say. Michelle. I think when you go out of range, it just gets confused. All right. And of course, cucumber is one of the best foods. You put that in smoothies because the water content is really high. And so when I'm doing this, I do strips. I don't just peel all the way, okay? Because when you cut it, you want to have a little bit of that color. So you do strips. Now what you don't want to do is put some of that, what do you call those? The seeds. You don't want the seeds. You can either grate them down with a spoon, or you can do that too. Yep. So, yeah, so today, I think about 3 o'clock, they have this program that they've been doing here in Panama called Canta Conmigo, Sing With Me. It's kind of like an American Idol type of program, but with the kids from different communities in Panama. It comes on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and I have been watching. Because when I see these kids, you know, singing, they have this little girl, she's Filipina, but she lives here with her family. And, you know, she's not even fully bilingual with the language, but she has a voice. And they had kids from different regions because, you know, Panama has 10 provinces. I hope you know that. And the provinces are like states. We have 10 of them. So they try to get representation from different areas. And there's this little girl, I think she's from Veraguas, which is one of the states or regions. She's got a voice on her, let me tell you. These kids are talented. And I'm so excited when I watch them. Now I'm going to put it's only one cucumber, and I'm going to put all of it in because it's just fresh and it gives the salad a nice, you know, taste. Plus it's good for you. So the semifinal for the show is going to be this week coming, this Wednesday. But today, the kids are going to be, because something like that in Panama, it's like a community thing. Everybody gets involved. They're doing it at the ITSE, which is a big technical college. People bring their, what call streamers and things, horns, and, you know, and the families are so involved in it. Oh, but you know, whenever they start to send somebody home, that's always sad. And you know, it's a good experience for the kids to learn how to handle defeat, right? Yeah. Okay, now let's do the peppers. And for this salad, I want to be sure I have tricolor. So you want to be sure you have all 3 colors represented. And because I'm cutting this size, I want to be sure everything else is about the same size. Very important in cooking. You don't start with julienne, then you go to dices. So So I'm going to leave a little bit because I want to put some of that in the frittata. Okay? So, the frittata doesn't have to be fancy in terms of size, but here in the salad, I want to be sure I am following the classical trend and make sure my dices are like about the same size. I mean, it's not going to be exact, but you try. And I think when you present your food, people will know, I've said that before, if you were classically trained, that you understand that you can have multiple cuts on in the same dish. You know, I have another dish, another recipe for stuffed peppers, which is really nice. If you do a mixture, you could put quinoa, you could put rice, you could put couscous or whatever, you put all that good stuff, and then you stuff the peppers, and then you bake them, and then you top them with some cheese. Ooh. I have another recipe for peppers that you take the pepper, you take the insides out, all the seeds, and then you make this mixture with cream cheese and dried beef and all that, and then you stuff the peppers and you put them in the fridge overnight. Those are appetizers, right? And then when you're ready to plate, you just make like really small boats, and then you put them on a big plate. So you have the pepper, and then you have the cheese mixture on top. Listen, it's a feast for the eye. It is absolutely beautiful looking. And especially you want to do multiple colors with your peppers, right? Tricolor. Alright. Okay. So the kids are gonna be at a mall this afternoon. So, you know, something to do. I'm gonna go. Usually I stay in on Sundays, but I don't like to become a hermit. So I am gonna go. And there's always something going on here. Either on the Santa Costera or at Parque Omar. I want to say there's something going on there today. I don't remember if it's today or not. Alright, so we have our peppers. We're going to add our olives. Now the olives we usually leave whole. Now remember I said that olives are olives are abundant here in Panama. Ooh, that's a lot. I'm not going to put all of it. Alright? Because you want to balance. Alright. It's our mixture. So now let's put our peas. These are the peas. They were cooking with the celery. Ouch. So let's drain and cool them. Okay. All right, Michelle. All right. So I drained the peas, but there is some cooked garlic in here that I don't want to lose. So I'm going to save them and put them in my frittata. So, making sure everything is dry. All right, here we go. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna put some herb oil and then pop it in the fridge for a little bit while I get ready for the frittata. So that would give it a little time to marinate, right? Because remember, you want flavor. Be generous, right, with that. Don't be stingy. What's that noise? Ooh. 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 Beautiful. Alright. So I'm going to put it in the fridge for a little bit. Okay. So now I have to work on the frittata. The first thing I need to do is to cook the potatoes, because that's what I'm going to put as a base, since we're not going to be using a crust, okay? The potatoes, just going to sit them around and then put the egg mixture. So let us cook the potatoes. I'm going to turn that on, and the potato is here. It's a small little potato because, again, I don't want a lot. I'm boycotting, carbs for a little bit. For my challenge, potatoes are not bad for you. They're actually good for you. But it's just a starch. It's another starch. I do need to get another peeler. That's one thing I forgot to get from the store when I was in Orlando. Oh, one sister says she's bringing me a set of cast iron. Oh my God, I'm so excited. You guys are too good to me, People are bringing me grits. This lady bought me, what did she bring me? She brought me the pastry cutter. I mean, I'm blessed. I am blessed. Okay. Alrighty, so let's turn the heat up here and a little bit of oil. Now I need enough oil because I need to cook those potatoes. Now, one other thing, let me see if this thing still works. This is like somewhat of a mandolin, but I'm not very good at it. I mean, I had a mandolin that I bought when I was in the States that was so good. All right, so what it does, it just shreds your potatoes really thin slices. So if you ever want to make scalloped potatoes, potato gratin, or something like that, use a mandolin. See, it worked. So oh, I wanted to use the herb oil. I forgot. So I'll just season a little bit. And I am looking to see how much I'm going to need for the bottom of my frittata. Come on, Michelle. Turn this way, sweetie. sometimes I have to turn it off because if it doesn't get to where I want you to see what I'm doing, then I put Michelle on timeout. I think that's enough right here. Now, the thing with potatoes, if I don't put a little water and a little vinegar, it's going to turn black, right? The oxidation is real with potatoes. White potatoes. So I'm going to put a little water, a little vinegar so it doesn't turn brown. And then later on I can figure out what to do with it. Or you could put lemon juice or lime juice. Any kind of acid is gonna keep it from. Alright. So that can go here. So I'm gonna use a little bit of my herb oil. Alright. Okay. Because the reason you're doing that is that you don't want the potato to be raw when it goes in here because the frittata cooks so fast, right? So you want the potato to be at least halfway cooked. I think you could do sweet potato too, even though I don't know, sweet potato and egg probably don't go so well together. I think sometimes in trying to be creative, we can go a little bit too far. Yeah, that chickpea salad does a lot better overnight. But you adjust and you do what you need to do. Oh, so pretty. Okay, a non-stick pan is definitely what you want for this, okay? And then once I put them in the pan, then I'm going to cook the peppers. Herb oil is the way to go, ladies and gents. Bring them in the middle because that's where the heat is the highest. But you could also have shredded the potato like you're making a hash brown. You could have done that. I used to make a lot. Oh, it is. For me, it's therapy. If I'm upset, if I'm sad, I cook. Now the challenge is to cook the right thing, right? Because when I'm stressed, I love to eat carbs. And I tend to eat the wrong things, so be careful. Almost done. Cut some peppers. I have some garlic. I need some onions. Oh, I forgot. I needed some red onions in my salad. So let me cook some. I mean, cook some. Let me chop some. Yes, red onion is part of the chickpea salad. You know, and it's not something that I find easily here in Panama. I went to Ray, I couldn't find any. You know where I found 2 red onions for $1? At Cinco de Mayo, in that little place outside the train station. That is where I found. the red onions. All right, so our potatoes are done. So we're gonna lay them in here to make the crust for our frittata. Frittata and potatoes go very well together, okay? If you're talking frittata, you wanna put potatoes and eggs, it's a happy marriage. It's a little crispy. It shouldn't be this crispy, but it's okay. All right, so potatoes are ready for the frittata. So now we're gonna cook our peppers and onion. And again, it's a small dish. Just adjust what you are cooking. I have some leftover garlic. Usually I don't put garlic in my frittatas, but it's sitting here and I don't want it to go bad, so I'm gonna cook the peppers in it. So I'm cutting it really small because I don't want chunks of garlic. With the frittatas, no bueno. I'm saving the rest of the onions and I'm gonna put it in the salad. Okay. That's too heavy. Yeah. Okay. And peppers. For this one here, we don't have to be fancy with the peppers. We want them to be small, small dice. Sometimes your knife doesn't cut it correctly, you keep cutting, okay? Because you don't want chunks. This pan, gotta watch it. It's like everything sticks in the middle fast and it will burn rather easily. Can't wait for my small cast iron. All right. A little red. I absolutely love red pepper. Love it. That's why I love paprika so much. Watch to eat so it doesn't burn. And then I'm gonna chop the spinach in there as well. Now see, with this, If I just keep using my herb oil, I don't have to worry too much about seasoning it. Why? I absolutely love my herb oil. Okay. I don't need too much. Now, I love acid usually, but remember, we're going to have eggs, so we don't need to think like that. All right, so I'm going to chop the spinach that I had cleaned. Maybe not all of it, because I don't want it to overpower the egg. You want the egg to still show it's a frittata. So always keep in the back of your mind, balance. Whether it's flavor, whether it's color, ingredient, you know, acid, heat, salt, everything should be balanced. Alright? Alright, let me put this in the salad. I don't want chunks, but I want it fine. I think it's perfect. Those are going to go in my salad. You know what I didn't have? If you're able to find dill at the end, go ahead and get some and chop it up there at the end. Oh, it's gonna make it. I couldn't find it here. This is, you know, some of these, you know, fennel, dill, certain things, it's not easy to find. Like green onions, the way we think of green onions. This is absolutely stunning. Let's put it back in the fridge. Alright. So now I'm going to turn my oven on. It's going to be like a 375. It's not going to take long to cook. So see, this is good. So I'm going to turn this off. And then I'm going to drop it in my pan. I know what I could do also. I have some, you know, I keep forgetting. I have some cherry tomatoes that I'm going to put some cherry tomatoes on top of my egg. Now you see this here? It's a little bit warm. So I'm going to put this in the fridge as well, because when I put my egg in there, I don't want it to start to cook. All right? So what we can do right now, we can do our egg mixture. Thought I had a small whisk, but the whisk that I see is too big. Alright, so we're gonna crack out 3 eggs. Usually when you're doing an omelet or a frittata, 3 eggs is just about right for one small, you know, pie. Alright, now this I am going to season a little bit with salt and pepper. Okay. And this is where you add some cream to your frittata. Even when I was making omelets, at the restaurant, I would put a little bit of milk, not, but I would ask them, you know, if people are lactose intolerant or they're vegan. I didn't do that, so I always ask. Okay, we're gonna put a little bit of cream, not too much. Salt, pepper, cream. We do have our cheese blend. This one is a Mexican style. It's got Monterey, cheddar, and some Mexican quesadillas. You could put whatever you want. But the thing you want to remember if you're making a quiche or frittata is to grate some nutmeg, okay? You always grate some nutmeg in those. It just adds a certain je ne sais quoi. What can I tell you? That's how I learned, okay? An egg is something that is so mild and fresh, you don't want to over season it. All right, my oven is up. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of tomatoes. Where are my tomatoes? I think I'm gonna put some tomatoes in my salad too. All right, so here is the pan. We're gonna put our egg mixture. Because your frittata doesn't have to be, you know, thick. Now the quiche Lorraine, whew, if I ever bring myself to make it here for you, that one is like this thick. Okay? So, I'm pushing the potatoes down. Then, you're going to put your cheese, and I'm going to put the tomatoes afterwards. I like a mixture, so don't just put, you know, cheddar, no mozzarella, not that kind of cheese. It's not a Italian dish. So you could put like Monterey Jack or, you know, a mixture of cheddar. You could do that. How much cheese is up to you. How cheesy you want this to be. All right, I think that's enough. Then I'm going to slice a few of the cherry tomatoes, just put it on top, and a little bit of cilantro, and that should do it. Okay? The tomato is just going to add a little bit more color, right? So maybe 2 more. Serrated knife for this. Something with teeth. Frittata. So there is a, I don't know if I did that for you guys. There isn't, you know, frittata is the egg, the cream egg mixture and your base. You could put anything you want. You could put bacon, I don't recommend it, but you could. All right, let's see. I have some cilantro. Now, to finish our salad, we're definitely gonna have to add herbs, right? And the cilantro, ooh, they don't last long here. You gotta be really quick to use them because they go bad quick. Probably because they're not, you know, sprayed with all kinds of things. Even though they're sprayed for pesticide. But maybe they don't spray to keep them forever. Which is what a lot of people have cilantro, you can use parsley. It's fine too. Cilantro and parsley can be interchangeably used. Okay? Not too small because it's not like you're trying to make it disappear. This is more for decoration and color. It's almost like I said with the basil. You chiffonade the basil. You don't chop the basil. That's the correct term. Okay. All right. So, in the oven you go, pretty girl. All right. So now let's get our salad back and finish it off. Then we're going to make sure it's seasoned right, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's glistening. Put a stick of cinnamon in your tea. All right. So, what else do we need here to add to this? I have cilantro, and I like to put basil, and if I had the dill, which I don't have, mint. So we're gonna chop some of the cilantro, not culantro for this one, okay? It has to be cilantro. Yeah. Gotta be quick with using the cilantro here. But you know, I don't cook that much. So when I buy something, a lot of the time it goes bad. And this is menta, that's mint. They have two types of mint here in Panama. They have menta, which has the small leaves, and then they have Abroad-SWRA, which is another type of mint they have here in Spanish. So when you go to Mercado de Mariscos and you ask for a limonada con Abroad-SWRA, that is a mint lemonade. It's really good. You know, it's a little too sugary for my taste, but it's good. All right? So mint is going to elevate the taste here. All right. We're gonna chop that. I remember the first social event somebody invited me to. I made a big old pot of this salad. Oh, before I left, everybody was asking for the recipe. I had made a lot. But now I know it's just me here, so I did not want to put a lot. Now you see how the herb just makes the color good? All right. So, did I put yeah, I did put the red onions. Okay. I'm going to take a few of those cherry tomatoes and throw them in there. Some of these tomatoes are really soft and I don't like that. So I'm going to try to get some of the big ones, because the whole idea of the salad is the color contrast, right? I think that's enough. Then we're going to finish off with that cheese. Yep. So imagine if you were having a party, you have an event at your house, and you make a big pot of this. I guarantee you it's going to be a great accompaniment to whatever it is. This is too big. I'm going to quarter it. Yeah. Your guests will love it, especially if you did do it the night before and the flavors have marinated. Okay, so I'm going to make sure the flavor, the salt, everything is on point. It might need a splash of lemon juice or lime juice. And before I put the cheese, yep, it needs acid. It needs a little bit of salt. Always taste your food. Always. Alright. I have some lime, half of a lime. I'm going to squeeze some of that in there. And if you're cooking, please use lime juice and not vinegar. And don't buy lime juice from a bottle. I'm going to be upset. You don't know how long that thing has been there. It just gives it a fresh pop. Love that. All right. So now we're going to open this. Now the oil that this thing is in, it's almost like my herb oil, isn't it? Let me just dump that in there. Oh. Off. Look at this beauty. I think I need a little bit more herbs, don't you think? Hi, Halia. No, I think it's good. Listen. This is amazing, okay? So imagine, it doesn't matter if you are dieting or whatever, but you sit here and you have a dish of this and you make some pita chips. If you have costini, if you're into bread, that's a meal. It's pleasing to the eye. It's beautiful. All right, our frittata is almost done. So, I'm going to set this here before I plate it. Do you guys have any questions? Anything about Panama? Home after a girls' trip. Nice. How to make the herb oil. Oh, late turning in. You get one of those bottles or whatever it is that's covered. You use olive oil or whatever oil you want to use. I wouldn't use avocado oil or coconut oil. You don't want anything already with flavors in it, right? And then I chop some fresh garlic, small, and I chop some rosemary, fresh, because I am just in love with rosemary. I don't know why. But that is a herb that I absolutely love because now you can put it in oil, you can put it for your scalp, you can use it for your skin. It's really good. And then you just add some dry herbs. I have oregano, thyme, culantro, you could do cilantro, you could do parsley. I had a mixture called fine herbs, which is a mixture. So dry herbs. And then salt and pepper, and then you shake it. Yes, for hair. Yes, before I wash my hair, I make an herb oil. And what I do, I put, whatever oil I have. I put some cloves in there. I throw a couple of twigs of rosemary. I put a bay leaf in there, and then you cook it really slow, and then you strain it into a container, and then you put it in your scalp. Put a bag on, leave it on for a few hours and wash your hair. Really good for your scalp. Hello, Rainbow Melon. Oh, I like that name. And then you leave it in your fridge. I put it on salad. I put it on vegetables. You can use it as a dip for bread or pita chips. Yeah. So when you go to Carrabba's and they put the oil, you go to this restaurant, they put the oil, they give you the bread, and then they have the oil, and they bring you those little packets, and you put in there, and you dip. This is it. This is it. How long does it keep? It's oil. Cook it forever. Yeah. Your oil doesn't go bad, does it? No. Keep it in your fridge. Yes, I keep it in my fridge. And then just remember to shake it, before you use it, because the dry herbs, they go to the bottom. I have that in my fridge all the time. And if I don't have it, I feel like I'm missing something. All right, so I'm going to put my salad, I'm going to plate it in this blue dish. Or you could put it in like a glass dish. It would look even better, right? Now remember you add the cheese at the end, so you don't want to put it in a place that is warm or the cheese is going to melt. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Now that I can eat all day, okay? Because you got the chickpeas that have a decent amount of protein, right? So you don't have to worry so much about your protein intake. And I tell people I take vitamin B12 when I don't eat meat for a couple of days, just because that's where you get most of your vitamin B12. So you don't want to be deficient. Wouldn't be good. And then I started taking a folate with that, because I remember when I was in practice, when you check the level of vitamin B12, you also check the folate. So they go together. Ooh, smells good. Ooh, another. All right. The frittata. Because it's just like cooking eggs. It shouldn't take long. I'm going to turn this off, let it sit for like 5 minutes, and then we're going to cut it. Now, for the salad, if you want to put like a twig of parsley or something to decorate, you can. Because you don't want to put a twig of rosemary in there. And I remember the chefs always telling us, don't put anything on your plate that's not edible. Ooh, Maggie, you give ingredients for hair oil that people purchase. I know. You know what? As you get older, you learn that a lot of things you were buying, it was because of the marketing. And you were contributing to somebody's wealth. A lot of things you can make on your own. Make your own oil for your hair. Well, you see all these things online, right? Quaker oil or whatever that lady's like, I'm not worried about my hair growing to go down my back. I'm not worried about that. I don't want my scalp to itch, and I want it to be healthy. So you put that oil on there, you rub, you wash, you're good to go. So don't come at me trying to sell me this, sell me that. I didn't live to be this old to not know a few things, right? Oh, let's see if my mint looks better. These look kind of puny. I might find, that's the thing, if I buy herbs, I gotta use them within a couple of days. Otherwise, they go bad. Seriously, that's how fast things go bad here. So let me see. I don't know if I wet them, if they're gonna hold. Let's just put them right here. This is just for decoration, okay? And maybe a slice to be sure that I'm here in these Americas. A slice of lime. That would work. A slice or two of lime, which I have. Like Greta, in Mexico, they're putting lime next to everything, right? Yeah. There we go. So, now, let's find the frittata. So today was easy. This kind of food. Oh. Easy does it. frittata is done. Look at this beauty. Hoo, hoo, hoo. So we're gonna let it sit. It's gonna settle before we slice it. And I believe I have a slicer. Where did I bring that? Oh, okay. I brought this from home. You know, your pizza slicer? Yes. Okay. So I decided I'm going to put the frittata on here. Let's see what I'm going to decorate it with. I don't have tomatoes. He already has tomato, so we need something green next to it. Maybe a slice or two of the green pepper. Why not? I'm making it up as I go. You know how I do. Isn't that what cooking is? It's just such ingenuity, creativity. I am not creative at all when it comes to anything else. I don't paint. I only cook. I don't sing. I love to play the piano, and for the longest time I had a piano in my house. That was like cooking. When I sit there, my daughter used to say, "When are you going to do your first concert?" Or my sister, they used to make fun of me because I wasn't progressing at all. But I love to, hit the keys. It was not about reaching that. I have other goals, but if I find something that when I do it, it relaxes me, it makes me feel good, yes, I'll do it. But not because I'm trying to impress people. Yeah. And if you say, "Oh, Maggie, you've been playing this for so long, but you can't even do this," sis, stop it. I'm not trying to impress you. Mind your business. All right. So the frittata, because the egg would be puffed up, you want it to settle down, and it did. So now we're going to slice it, and we're going to put it in this plate. Okay, this is like a pizza. You do quarters, and then you can do eighths. Okay. And with my spatula, and then what this does, it's pleasing to the eye too, right? Because you have contrasting colors, and you only have potatoes, tomatoes, everything that is good for you. You could do this, okay? And I thought maybe we'll just put some peppers as decoration. Let's see. Like that. Yep. Okay. So here's our frittata. I told you I'm not creative. I told you that. Used to play the piano. You were forced to play. Oh, no, my mother didn't force me to play. This is something I picked up as I got older. I just love piano music, first of all. I love classical piano. I would go to concerts. I used to be a ticket holder in my town, and I love classical music, period. So, alrighty, let's look at what we did. It's not, fancy. It's just easy does it. We made a chickpea salad that has tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, and we topped it up with some queso blanco with some more olives, and then we made a frittata on the side. The frittata is just eggs and a potato base, and we have some peppers in there. We added some tomatoes to the top, and that's it. So that's gonna be my lunch today, and hopefully, it's not gonna be heavy, so I don't feel too bad because I'm doing my challenge and I don't want to mess it up. You're at the door. All right, Greta, I'll open up. All right, you guys, hour and 17 minutes. I know today was gonna be lime on everything, but it's pretty good for you. I love lime. I love lemons too, of course. But this is it. We're done. I gotta take a picture first. I can't start eating yet because I gotta post my food always. Oh, there it is. Oop, there it is. And the two of them together. Right. And then what you would want to have a nice lemonade or drink, and then fresh with some lime and some mint. All right, guys. Let me test the frittata. Now, I don't eat egg that much, but eggs are good for you. Now they're good for you, right? It matches with the salad really well. So if you eat that for lunch, you're not gonna feel guilty. I'm not. It's 11:30. I don't eat breakfast, so this is good. Then I got my green tea. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. Oh, you're visiting, but when you get home, try to make it. Because it's an easy lunch, it's not heavy. You don't have to feel guilty. I love chickpeas anyway, so I find ways to use it. This is one, I think about 2 years ago, I discovered this recipe. You can add something to it. Let's say you have roasted broccoli, cauliflower, squash that I love, and then with my herb oil, I use that to roast my veggies. So when I'm roasting squash, I put the herb oil in there. Asparagus, ooh, and also Brussels sprouts. That's people don't like. Toss it in the herb oil and put it in the oven. I guarantee you're gonna like it. Ooh. Oh, you're here for good, Mary. Good. I'll put the recipe in the description. So if you like chickpeas, I don't know what other peas you could use. If you like cannellini beans, like white beans, you could use that for this. Yeah. But not kidney beans and stuff like that. Mostly your white beans would work. Well, welcome to Panama, Mary. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I put the recipe in the description, okay? And like I said, don't limit yourself to those ingredients. You can add anything else you want. But get in the habit of making that herb oil. I promise you, you'll like it. It's so versatile. It helps whatever you're cooking because it's already seasoned, right? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to sit here and rest a little bit and get ready to go to that thing this afternoon at the mall and watch the little babies sing. Canta Conmigo is going to be at the Metro Mall. And I'm going to go there and watch them. Frittata is really good. Oh, wow. Simple. The tomato at the bottom, the egg with a little bit of cream, and the nutmeg. Don't forget the nutmeg. So good. Really good. Now, if I would just eat a little bit and not keep doing this, that's my problem. If it's good, I'm like, woo, more. Here we are working out so I can trim up for my birthday. But I'm not cooking anything else for the day, so. You know, when I cook here on Sundays, maybe I cook during the week, maybe I don't. I don't really cook. This one with the cheese, I have pips. Thank you, Greta. Head wraps. Do I have head wraps? Oh, just a few, not that many. But I don't know if I'm going to find some for the Etnia Negra, because you have to put something on your head when you go into those events. Not that you have to, but oh my God, I see so many. And you know, during that parade, they have the little kids with the, what do you call them? The hiki or whatever, and they're wearing their little thing and they have the head covered. They're so cute. Oh, I was so enamored last year when I went, so I can't wait to go again this year. The parade in Rio Abajo. And then everywhere you go in Panama, you're going to see dances, parades, people wearing their outfits. They're just proud. Just like in November here, everybody's wearing their, you know, the guys wear the guayabas, they call them, I think. You know, the white shirt with the embroidery, right? And the ladies have the shirts with the embroidery as well. Not just a pollera, they can just have a shirt with a skirt, but the shirt is typically Panamanian. I'm telling you, there's so much culture here, and people are so in love with their culture, with something to see. And experience. All right, guys, I'm going to go off. Thank you so much. Have a great day, okay? Bye.